Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of Degenerates and the Nosebleeds podcast. I am your host, Lawrence Walendowski, joined by Marshall Bears. It is a beautiful day today on March 15th on this Tuesday. And Marshall, way to go. How's it going, buddy?
Going pretty good. Excited for the Lady Bears in the tournament. That's all I gotta say real quick. Gotta get it out of the way.
I agree. They're going to win the whole thing. This is a big Lady Bears show, as you said that one time. So, I completely agree, because we're definitely going to be filling out a women's bracket. Probably not this episode. Well, down the line. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's dive in. MLB is back. We have opening day after a 99-day lockout. Opening day will be April 7th. Let's just dive right in. As soon as the deal of the lockout ended, free agency opened up, and so far, let's dive right into that. We go into the team spending. Marshall, who do you think is the number one team that has spent the most this free agency so far?
I think it's the Cincinnati Reds. They really went out of the way here to make an aggressive, strong push.
I find it absolutely hilarious that the Reds turned down, were one of the teams that said no to the 220 CBT, then went to approving it on one of the teams to approve the 230 CBT, and then absolutely just cut and just run away from all those contracts and just dump everything. That's what I find hilarious. It's like you wanted more money to spend for this, and then you're not even doing it.
Genius
move. Way to go, Reds.
Genius move.
The Cincinnati Reds are actually...
Mariners took advantage of them, man. I really do believe that. That deal for the Seattle Mariners worked out really well.
That deal included
Suarez and what's it called?
Suarez and Winker, obviously, but I don't who they give up on that one. They got fleeced. I know that the Reds got fleeced. They didn't really get high prospects from the Mariners.
No, which is I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but
no, absolutely.
Hey,
not.
You want to compete with the Diamondbacks? Go for it.
I can't even find the Reds on this list of spending during this free agency. I'm pretty sure they haven't even made a move yet.
I don't think they have, besides just dumping salary.
Everybody. Yeah, I don't think they're on this list.
Let's just get rid of another guy. That's all it's been.
I've been eyeballing this list for the past minute now, and I have not seen the Cincinnati Reds on here. But team spending wise, the number one team goes to the Texas Rangers. Number 2 is the New York Mets. Number 3, surprisingly, is the Detroit Tigers. Number 4 being Toronto, and then number 5, rounding out the top 5, being the San Francisco Giants. Marshall, what reactions on that top 5?
I think we discussed it the very last time we talked about it, but we were both kind of in shock that the Rangers have actually tried to make a little run at this. That hasn't been their theme in the past several years, but they're seeming to try to push for it this time.
A team that surprises me on that top 5 is Detroit being number 3. That one is very surprising to me. Yeah, but they do have Lynch, I do believe. Is that their GM? I might be speaking wrong. He's from Houston, I know that, but he's turning around the culture there. Maybe Detroit is a team to watch in the years to come here,
or not.
Or
let's be honest. I feel like Tigers fans can even admit it. That they're competing for a second place in the division, most likely.
I
don't know. I just don't see it all the way yet. The pitching staff, I don't think is strong enough yet.
They need to fix out some kinks, obviously, but it is a team to watch, I would say. It's obviously the White Sox division for this year and probably the next year to come. But on the up and rise, I think Detroit definitely, it's nice to see one of those small market teams being into that top 5.
Yeah, being a little more aggressive at this moment in time. But, it's very clear they're done with their moves for now. But the big thing is you got to really hope some of their prospects turn out to make them competitive.
So there is 28 teams spent on this list, so I'm assuming there's 2 teams, Reds being one of them. I don't know who the other team is that it's missing on this list, the team spending and the free agency so far. But 28 out of 28 right now is the Cleveland Guardians. I will say that.
But probably the only other team who hasn't spent anything is the Rockies.
You know what? No, the Rockies are on the list. The Rockies are here.
They are?
They are.
What they do?
They're 22. They're 22nd.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Rockies is one of those teams like the Reds and the Diamondbacks. They're gonna be down there, man. They're gonna be way down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the Guardians, yeah, you know them. They're cheap. What's new?
Right. Going off team spending now. Let's go into the players now. Actually, the available players remaining. This is obviously not in order, but Marshall, who would you think out of remaining free agents? Who do you think would be the top 5?
I don't know about top 5 all the way, but it's very clear. Everyone everywhere is continuously talking
in any
about
order. Just give me 5 players. That'd be a lot easier. That are ones to watch right now.
Freeman, Correa are the 2 off the top of my head that scream the most at me. Who need to. Once their decisions are made, a lot of things start to fall in place. I feel like. After that, though, it's up for
Do you think
debate.
Trevor Story's just sitting around and waiting till Correa gets signed so his price market does go up?
I think so, but I think the amount of teams that are willing to sign him are shrinking day by day.
I agree. That one's really talking about Trevor Story, which is very shocking. I mean, he had
I
quiet
saw him up
second
for the
half.
Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
So, like, if the Guardians are involved, he's not getting paid as much as he thought.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's sad. It's I agree that he had his quiet second half to that 2021 season, but I mean it's still an elite shortstop that is very shockingly still on the board, and given from what we've heard, not very no one seems to be
not a big
interested.
market for him. I feel like Correa is going to get less money than we initially thought.
I think so,
That's
too.
my gut instinct. I feel like so much time's gone on by now.
What do you think?
The only one left really who's going to. What?
Where do you think Correa ends up?
I don't know. I think he might end up back in Houston because it just doesn't work out.
That's what I'm thinking. I think he goes back to Houston. I heard supposedly a new report came out that Houston is re-offering a contract to him. They're resubmitting an offer for him. So for 6 more years instead of 5. So I'm assuming that extra year will probably put it over the hump and get Correa to come back to Houston. So that's what I'm thinking.
I completely agree with you. I think it'll be enough to get back, but I'm curious to see the amount of years because it gives me a vibe that Correa could also take a gamble on himself and bet on himself for like a year and then have him maybe be up again in the future. Who knows? It's hard to tell at this moment in time.
I agree. What about Freddie Freeman? Of course, not coming back to Atlanta because the Atlanta Braves surprisingly yesterday trade for Matt Olson and extend him today for 8 more seasons. Marshall, any reactions on that? Since I'm pretty sure we should have probably opened up the show with this news.
First initial reaction is great replacement, great bat,
great
replacement. Honestly, you can't get it's a dip off obviously because Freeman's Freeman, but it's still a great replacement. The only thing that scares me more recently is the length of the contract.
Yes, the 8 years is a little worrying.
Years 5, 6, 7, and 8 are a little worrying for that amount of money.
Absolutely, and
but
especially
overall,
when
you did lock down a first baseman very solid for the next 3 to 4 years. In my opinion,
it's you're missing. I think the only knack when you come to Matt Olson is probably consistency issues as of right now. 3 years now that there's 3 seasons so far that he's been up in the league. Not 3 full seasons, but there has been 3 years since he's been in the league where he has hit under an 800 OPS. But I think he's on the way up at this point. I think
he's on the way up at this point. Yeah, and it's very pitcher dependent.
Yeah,
I forget what hand he gets better against.
That being that park that he's going to is going to be a great park.
True, he's finally out of Oakland's ballpark, which is not a very hitter-friendly park.
No, and yeah, the Chop House is going to be loving Matt Olson when he gets there. I will say that right now.
Oh yeah, I agree completely. It'll be interesting. Oh, curious to see. I don't know. I haven't seen much about Jorge Soler, man. What's up there?
I've seen one report for the Dodgers, and that's it. Mr.
I've saw
World Series
Dodgers
MVP.
and then like maybe back to Braves, and that's not much. Which is a little surprising. But yeah, I'm curious to see where he ends because I don't think he'll be that expensive, but he could be a very nice bat to add.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, we kind of got sidetracked off Freddie Freeman there because we started talking about Matt Olson. Yeah. But Freddie Freeman, where do you think he's showing up? It seems to be for the longest of time it was Atlanta and Dodgers. It was Atlanta or LA. And then out of nowhere, since Atlanta made the move, it seems like all these other teams are like, okay, Atlanta's no longer in the mix. Let's now seriously pursue this guy. Like teams like the Red Sox and Toronto. And I'm sure there's some other team that I'm completely forgetting that just jumped in on it now that I think about it. But
I think Toronto spent a little too much already to kind of be diving into that area. I think it's a two-man race between Boston and Los Angeles right now. That's from my perspective. And I'm curious to see where he lands out. It'll probably be the freaking Dodgers, but I don't want it to be.
I just call me crazy. Even if the Dodgers make the Freddie Freeman move, am I crazy to think that Atlanta's still a better team?
Yeah, maybe, but the thing is, regardless of what the Dodgers do, in my opinion, they're still gonna lose like in the championship game or something like that. They always seem to kind of slip up in the playoffs somehow.
They need a 60-game season to win a World Series. So
yeah, exactly. So they're gonna slip up. They'll make a great run. I mean,
absolutely.
They'll win the division and everything, but I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting one.
So yeah, final say, Marshall. What do you think? You said Dodgers for Freeman.
I think final say is Dodgers, but it's not. It's like it used to be like 90% certain it's Dodgers, and it's now down to like 60.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna jump out on a limb, and I think the old Canadian boy is going home, and he's gonna go to the Toronto Blue Jays.
If he does, that'll be a fun team to watch.
That would be a fun team to watch. I hope he goes there. That would be a great.
I hope he goes there. I hope the Yankees suck, so the Yankees don't make the playoffs. So it'll be Boston and Toronto out of the division, and I will be happy.
Oh.
Speaking of Yankees, did you see about Josh Donaldson joining the squad?
Oh, jeez, man. One thing I do. The Yankees need to make one thing, and they need to make this change. Is get rid of this stupid ass clean face policy, because this is dumb.
Joey Gallo looks horrible without a beard.
Josh Donaldson looks horrible without a beard. He looks like he's a. They tweeted a picture today. The Yankees did. They tweeted a picture of. What was it? Aaron Judge, Joey Gallo, and Josh Donaldson. And Josh Donaldson's in the middle of it, and he looks like their child.
And he's 6'1". and he
looks
I know,
like
it's
their
something
child.
else.
God.
Those guys are massive, like behemoths of humans.
It's nasty. That's one rule change that the MLB should have, negotiated in that CBA, was to have the Yankees disbar that stupid ass rule that they have a clean face and short hair.
I can already hear the Yankee fans going.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. It's facial hair.
Settle down.
Calm down. Settle down. You know what this should happen? What do we call it? Yankees can't have facial hair. The Red Sox should require facial hair.
You have to have a beard to play on the Red Sox.
Can't cut it. You gotta grow it.
We're not cooking cooking food here. We're hitting dingers. Let them fucking have beards.
Speaking of other weird rules, why do we need bigger bases?
See, I've been thinking that forever, and I can't come up with a reasonable guess to why that's a thing. I'm assuming it's safety wise. I don't know.
Maybe it's safer for a bigger base. And then my other thought process is it easier to see on TV since it's bigger?
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. There's still going to be blown calls at first base.
Oh, okay.
It's true.
That's a good point.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. It's a weird one. I had to bring up the bases.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great bring up. It's just, I don't understand the big bases either. Like you said, it gives up the vibe of people who said they can't see the puck in hockey.
Yeah, it don't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, some of the rules we came up with in the meantime seemed way more logical.
Let's talk about pitching. What do you think? Zach Greinke is still on the board. He's still available. I haven't heard anything from him.
I heard Dodgers rumors.
That'd be interesting.
Going back to the Dodgers, which would be kind of interesting.
That would be very interesting.
But I don't know. Someone will pick him up for probably a year-long deal or a 2-year-long deal, and he'll be a solid pitcher. Won't be, anything too crazy, but he'll just hold his, line position.
Man, there's still a lot of players here. I think, Chris Bryant, I think he's going to the Mariners. I think he goes to Seattle.
Honestly, he could. I didn't think about it, but yeah.
That's the best spot, I think, for him.
Let's just hope the Seattle Mariners actually have some fans in the building this year.
Let's just hope they make the fucking playoffs. God.
Speaking, what do you mean, the Angels?
Yeah, they're throwing Trout in right field next year, buddy.
Yeah, let's just have the most two popular players in baseball, arguably the two best players in baseball. But yeah, let's not make the playoffs, guys.
No, not at all. Screw it. We don't need the playoffs.
Not us. Nope.
Fuck pitching.
Nope. What do you mean pitching? Yeah. You got Shohei.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, one pitcher. Congratulations, Angels. Way to go.
One pitcher. I hate to say this, but Shohei is a good pitcher, but let's be honest, he's not a one pitcher. He's more like 3/4 of one because he only go 5 innings.
Yeah,
never goes above 5.
What are the Angels done this free agency, huh?
What'd you say?
What have the Angels done this free agency?
I don't know.
I'm pulling it up now. I gotta know. So far, they've signed Raciel Iglesias. They signed him back. They got Noah Syndergaard. I forgot about that.
That's a solid pick.
And Michael Lorenzen. They signed back Kurt Suzuki, and they brought in Aaron Loop as well. So yeah, so far all of their signings so far have been pitching help, except for Kurt Suzuki, who was a re-sign anyways. So
yeah, Suzuki's always a good signing. Suzuki's one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. Paul's a great game behind the plate.
I just looked up the Reds, and they have literally not spent money on anybody. That is too funny. I want to know who the other team is. Kansas City, maybe? It's got to be a small market team, you would think, right?
It could be Kansas City. I could see Kansas City.
Kansas City made an offer to Taylor Clark for $975,000. So
good for them. Good for them.
Let's see how I want to take a set. Let's see who the Guardians have signed so far. Oh, Luke Malley for $900,000.
Yeah, I didn't even know. It says, I didn't expect to make any signings. Kind of just got rid of people.
It's not Tampa Bay.
That's all kind of done.
Okay, yeah, Tampa Bay made a sign. Yeah, they signed Corey Kluber and Brooks Raley.
Yeah, I saw Corey going down there, which makes sense. Warm weather, why not? You're older, go for it. Solid baseball team. Speaking of which, I mentioned. I don't know why I did earlier, but I mentioned Red Sox and Blue Jays winning that division and knocking the Yankees out. Rays are still good.
Oh yeah, yes they are.
Rays are. They're really always good. Sneaky every year. They never get talked about much, but they're always solid.
They should though. I did find the other team.
What is it?
Oakland.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, they got rid of Olsen.
Right. All right.
Yeah, Oakland. Yeah.
Yo, you go. Any final closing arguments on or closing points on MLB free agency?
I think like everyone else, we're just waiting to see where Freeman goes. I think that's the last big domino. There's other guys here and there. There's some good guys to left, but no one swings the margin as much as Freeman does. Like how well a team will perform in the future.
He's gonna be a Yankee.
Don't say it. Oh, okay.
All right. Let's shift on over towards NCAA college basketball. Selection Sunday was on Sunday, obviously. It's the best time of the year. It is March Madness. We're going to go on and make our picks. I have not watched one college basketball game this year except for the Big Ten tournament, so I'm going to be a genius when this comes down to it. And Marshall, on the other hand, has watched less basketball than me, actually, and he knows a lot less than me. So just don't – whatever Marshall says, don't listen to
it. Don't take it for your word. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Just because you know more in March Madness doesn't mean you're going to do better. It's never that way.
Which I was obviously lying. Marshall knows a lot about college basketball, and he's probably going to know most of everything that do pretty much the opposite of everything I do. So starting off with my first pick, Georgia State's going to upset Gonzaga easily. I'll say that right now.
Oh, totally, dude. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Georgia State, what a great team.
Yeah, Georgia State, great team.
Gonzaga, they're just going to get wiped.
I marked Gonzaga already. Moving on.
Yeah, Gonzaga's going to be
Boise
too much
State and Memphis.
I've been back and forth on this one a lot recently, in my opinion. But I think Memphis's recently hot play will kind of push it through. Duran's starting to play better for him. I know what's it called? Boise State's got a lot of like really good like forwards like Shaver and
Mhm.
Kiggog. I always mispronounce his name, but they don't really have a like true point guard, and I feel like that's going to hurt him in March. So I think Memphis is going to beat him
Okay, yeah, I agree.
just slightly, but I just think the athletes come to play, and it's going to be too much for the guards of Boise.
Okay. So, Marshall, on to the next matchup. UConn, New Mexico State. Who we got?
This is a very popular upset pick I'm seeing right now. Is New Mexico State. I
Okay.
see a lot of people picking them over them because they've had some quality wins against teams like Davidson and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they just kind of ran up against the wrong opponent. UConn I know has kind of slipped as of late, but they still have two all Big Ten, like not Big Ten, Big East players in Sonogo and Bowles. I think UConn's gonna win, but I think UConn wins by like 5, not much. They sneak by.
Okay, so we going UConn?
Yeah, I'm going UConn in this
UConn,
one.
all right. Number 4, Arkansas versus number 13, Vermont. Who we got?
Interesting. I've got Arkansas currently because I really, really like Arkansas, but I feel bad for Vermont because I think Vermont is the best 13th ranked seed. Just the fact that they're going up against Arkansas is kind of tough because you're going up against JD Note, who's like not like what third team All American, so
Yeah.
he's going to be too much for them to kind of handle. No, they've got some great players in Shungo, I think, but they can't handle it. They're
Yeah.
just going to be too much for them.
So we got number 4, Arkansas?
I've got Arkansas. No upsets, but honestly, though, it's going to be another tight game. It's just Arkansas is going to be a little too much to handle. I feel like if Vermont would have faced like almost any other 4 seed, I'd put Vermont through, but not against Arkansas.
All right. Next game, number 6, Alabama versus number 11, Rutgers or Notre Dame. What we got?
Uh, I'm assuming we're going to take the approach that like most brackets do, and you can kind of pick either Rutgers or Notre Dame to beat
Oh, yeah,
Alabama.
so you get the 2 choices over 1.
Yeah,
So you taking Rutgers,
personally,
Notre Dame?
I think I am. I don't like Alabama that much recently. They've been too spotty, and I don't know. They seem to turn over the ball at very poor
Mm-hmm.
times.
All
That's
right.
my first pick, I guess.
Yeah, that's the first upset on the board. Well, I guess Memphis over
What are you
Boise
thinking?
State, but who am I thinking? I got Bama.
Yeah,
I got Bama.
you
Also,
got
by the way,
Bama.
if
Yeah,
we're gonna go back to that Arkansas and Vermont pick, I'm picking Vermont, baby. Vermont is gonna
yeah,
beat
I
Arkansas.
respect it. They could
Yeah.
do it. The Catamounts could take them.
So far,
Honestly,
I agree with everything except for Vermont and Arkansas. Oh, and Bama and
that's
Rutgers.
the thing is like when in doubt. I feel like a lot of these things, like every game we've talked about so far, they can cover the spread.
Right.
It really could. Obviously, besides the Gonzaga Georgia State game.
That's all that matters is covering spread, baby.
Mhm.
Texas Tech versus Montana State.
We
Pretty
need to
easy
talk
one,
about
I
this
think.
one much. It's
Yeah, I was
Texas
gonna
Tech
say
all
it's
the way.
Texas Tech. They're scrappy.
Yeah,
Michigan
Texas
State
Tech.
against Davidson.
A lot of debate here on this one for me. I feel like it's another thing where I feel like if Davidson was playing like a different 7 seed, they'd win.
Yeah,
It's just something about Tom Izzo in March is very
that's right.
good.
Yeah.
And it's very and the thing is Davidson's best player this year at times has been Oster Lawyer, and he's the former Michigan State transfer, so they kind of probably know his ins and outs and how to kind of slow him down
Mm-hmm.
since they really had him for like 3 years or 4 years on the squad. So I think Michigan State wins,
Also,
but it's
yeah,
going to be close.
the committee also knew what they were doing, making Michigan State a number 7 seed in the same region as Duke. They want to see that Tom Izzo, Mike
They
Krzyzewski
do.
final
They do. They
matchup in the
really,
second
really
round. They
do.
want to see it. They want to see it. They're making storylines, of course. So Michigan State moves
Unless
on.
Cal State Fullerton.
I'm assuming it's Cal State Fullerton. They beat Duke. They upset them.
No, I think Cal State Fullerton should be a 16 seed.
All
If
right.
that says anything.
Moving on over to the South region, we got Arizona versus Wright State and BRY. I'm assuming is it Brooklyn? Bryant. Okay,
No,
Bryant.
Bryant.
Not Brooklyn.
No.
Going Zona on that one. I'm assuming.
Yeah, Zona over Wright State. Bryant's not going to win their first game.
Oh well, shoot. Today we got Seton Hall, number 8 against number 9 TCU. Who we feeling?
Neither squad is that good in my opinion. Both are a little overrated, but I think TCU wins. Miles is just slightly better. They're really spread out in scoring, so if someone kind of flounders, someone else kind of picks up the pace, and Seton Hall hasn't looked that great lately. Mm-hmm. But it could go either or. That's a coin flip game, honestly.
All right, number 5, Houston against 12, UAB.
Second upset alert right now.
UAB?
Second upset alert. UAB. Know the name now. Jelly Walker, baby.
Jelly Walker.
Great. You got to watch out for him. You have to watch out for this guy. This guy scores at a ridiculous level. Now, honestly, the only problem that could happen is if he gets in foul trouble or if they somehow slow him down slightly, you've got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You win the game. But Walker has been unbelievably hot right now, and I just don't ever like picking Houston because they're so sporadic.
Yeah, they are. I would.
Houston could easily make it to the Sweet 16 or drop first round to UAB. So I'm just making my upset of the classic 12-5 matchup.
Love it. Yeah, I love it. I love UAB too, just because of this new Jelly Walker guy that I'm hearing about. That guy sounds amazing. Jelly Walker, if you were listening to this somehow, come on the pod, buddy. We're huge fans.
Come on the pod, Jelly.
Huge fans, Jelly. All right. Number 4, Illinois versus number 13, Chattanooga.
I keep wanting to pick Chattanooga really, really badly because they really could win it. And honestly, out of the 4 teams here, UAB, Houston, Illinois, Chattanooga, any of them could reach the Sweet 16 with ease. But I'm going to pick Illinois in this one. I feel like what's called Kofi Coburn's going to be just a little too much for Chattanooga. They don't really have a big to match up with him. So they're kind of going to run through, but unfortunate.
Yeah, at this South region, I just want to say in the first round, it is my, after all the brackets I have filled out so far, it is my upset region. I have a lot of small seeds winning.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You could easily have Chattanooga or UAB make the Sweet 16 out of this region. But we're going to go with it.
Yeah, number 6, Colorado State versus number 11, Michigan.
I see a lot of people picking Michigan just because they know it's the most recent name. And it's, a very popular pick. Mm-hmm. Which, don't get me wrong, they're always good. But Colorado State is better than people realize this year. And they've got David Roddy, who's honestly, I don't know if he finished 3rd team All-American or he was honorable mentions today. But he is very, very good. And Michigan is trending downwards right now. So everyone loves it because it's a big name school upset. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Now, tread lightly on this next pick.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee versus Longwood. Who's winning?
I think Longwood's the best 14 seed in the whole entire tournament.
Thank you.
Longwood is actually very good. In my opinion, it probably should be a 13 seed. Mm-hmm. But the problem is they're playing a team who I feel like should easily have been a 2 seed.
Oh yeah, easily.
So they're playing Tennessee. If they would have played literally on the other region, like Texas Tech or Wisconsin or Purdue, honestly, they'd beat Purdue and Wisconsin probably. Knowing how the Big Ten does in the tournament.
I went.
I respect it. No, honestly.
Yeah, I went Longwood on one of my picks, but you taking Tennessee?
I'm taking Tennessee, but you quote unquote don't know. You say you don't know a lot. Longwood's actually a pretty good team.
Really,
and it's the first ever NCAA tournament.
I saw that on the Selection Sunday, and I also just picked them. I fell in love with them because of the name easily. So,
I wonder why.
Yeah. Number 7, Ohio State versus number 10, Sister Jean. Who we got?
Gotta go Sister Jean, baby. Something about Sister Jean in March.
Got to.
Plus, Ohio State is trending massively downwards.
Yeah, Ohio State sucks. Number 2, Villanova versus 15, Delaware.
Villanova by a lot.
I figured. All right, now moving on to the bottom half of the bracket. We're going to the East region. We got Baylor versus Norfolk State.
It's a very interesting region, by the way. But I've got Baylor. It's Norfolk State. It's nothing too crazy there.
Number 8, North Carolina versus number 9, Marquette. And I'm pretty sure, you have not picked an 8 seed yet. Just want to point that out.
We're changing now.
Oh, yeah, we're going North Carolina.
North Carolina wins. Armando Bacot's too much for Marquette to kind of handle. Mm-hmm. Marquette's a good team, but like some teams right now, they're kind of floundering as of late, and I kind of weigh that a little more recency of how well you've been playing over your whole entire schedule. So I've got what's it called? North Carolina winning this game.
Okay. Number 5, St. Mary's versus 12, the play-in game of Wyoming and IU.
This one I have debated for hours in my head.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
I could see Wyoming or Indiana beating St. Mary's.
Yeah.
But I can also see St. Mary's eking a game out. regardless what happens here, this is the game where you got to be on buzzer beater alert. I really do think so. But in my opinion, you got to have some fun. And every year, it seems to be someone from the play-in games, or the first four always wins their first round game. At least one of them does.
Right.
So I think, honestly, I hate to say it, but I think Indiana beats Wyoming by like 4.
Like it.
And then I think Indiana goes on and beats St. Mary's.
Love it.
I think St. Mary's is a little overhyped. I hate to say it, but I'm giving you my honest opinion. I think Indiana.
I love what you just said. It's music to my ears.
Beware, Wyoming can knock you. If they come out thinking just Wyoming's another mid-major school, you're screwed because Maldonado's going to kill you.
I hope not. Number 4, UCLA versus 13, Akron.
Akron is a very fun team to watch for a mid-major school, but they just can't match with UCLA unless another injury pops up for UCLA. UCLA's got this one pretty clean, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Texas versus Virginia Tech.
If this basketball game is very slow paced and the refs don't call a lot of fouls and let it be like a really tough and grimy game, Texas wins. But if it's just a normal basketball game, Virginia Tech is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. And Texas's offense goes too cold at times, so Virginia Tech's going to win that game.
Yeah.
What do you?
I got Virginia Tech. They won the ACC too. Yeah, I got Virginia Tech as well. I think they're a hot team right now. I don't think no one's stopping them. Well, not no one, but obviously I think Texas is not going to stop them.
Yeah. I agree.
Number 3, Purdue versus 14, Yale. This is a tough one, man. Yale, they're smart. They're from the Ivy League. They're going to commit very few turnovers.
Lawrence,
very few turnovers. And I would just say, last game Purdue did play, and they turned over the ball 17 times. Got to play smart. Got to play smart basketball.
Lawrence, you're purposely just trying to go anti-Purdue, which I respect. In most years, I would be agreeing with you, but Yale doesn't have a guy over 6'8".
Okay, yeah, no one told me that. So Purdue.
Yale doesn't have a single player over 6'8". There's no way you're gonna guard Edey, who has another 8 inches on your next tallest player.
That's a good point.
I think Purdue wins this one solely because Yale got a bad matchup. In most other teams, they could have competed, not in this one.
All right, well, we got number 7, Murray State versus 10, San Francisco. Who we got?
This is one of San Francisco's best runs in a long time. A really good team this year, but Murray State is having a historic year.
Yeah.
Like, they won every single Ohio Valley Conference game.
That's insane.
It's insane. It's never been done before. It's definitely Murray State. Murray State deserves higher than a 7 seed.
I agree. That is going to be a very interesting 7-10 matchup. And I would I hope that's on a Thursday. I don't know if it's Thursday or Friday, but I really hope that's one of the first days because I would love to watch that game.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
All right, and then Kentucky against St. Peter's.
Kentucky blows them out.
Yeah, I figured.
St. Peter's is a great three-point shooting team, but doesn't matter.
We're on to the Midwest region now. We got Kansas versus Texas Southern and Texas something CC. I don't know.
Corpus Christi.
Thank you.
It'll be Texas Southern. It'll be Texas Southern in the game, but Kansas wins. No surprises.
Right. Number 8, San Diego State versus number 9, Creighton.
I flip-flopped on this one a lot too. Mm-hmm. Obviously, every 8-9 game is
a flip. It's kind of a coin flip on each side, no matter what.
But I think I'm gonna rock San Diego State in this one. You got to give some love to the mid majors.
Oh, absolutely. Number 5, Iowa versus 12, Richmond.
Richmond barely snuck in by upsetting some people in their tournament.
Yeah, Iowa's hot.
But Iowa is hot, and there's no one's gonna stop Keegan Murray, and it's just he's gonna roll. Iowa's winning that one.
All right, and probably arguably the worst 4th seed to enter, Providence versus South Dakota State.
And they're entering against the hottest team in the country right now, South Dakota State. And South Dakota State is winning this game.
Let's go!
South Dakota State is winning this game. The offense they have is too powerful. Providence looks horrible. Providence looks bad lately. South Dakota State looks good. I'm all South Dakota State Jackrabbits, baby.
See, I love that too. I love that. The issue about it though is I don't know. We've had predictions on this show, and I nailed the Jorge Soler prediction, but I don't think we've ever had a wild prediction Which I don't know how wild that is, being 13th over 14 over 4. Obviously, it happens, but I don't know how wild it is. But I don't like the vibe that we're both on that.
Good point. We need to be bickering.
That does scare me. It scares me a little bit because now Providence is probably going to show out and just win the whole tournament.
No way. I don't even think Providence makes it past Iowa. And then if maybe like Kansas the following, no, Providence doesn't even make it to the Final Four at all. No chance.
Not. They won't. Yeah, Sweet 16 is a dream for them. Let's go.
We just gave Providence the golden ball to win it all now.
I know, I did. I definitely bulletin material. LSU versus Iowa State is the next matchup.
I see a lot of people picking Iowa State.
Me too.
If I'm not mistaken, they've lost 3 in a row lately.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
And Brockington is great, but I think LSU is going to win it. Easton's got like the 6th man of the year in the country. I just think LSU wins in a tight one. It'll be one of those games you're going to want to watch.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then we got Wisconsin versus Colgate, and I be careful. They have fresh breath.
I'm glad you're saying
they have fresh
careful,
breath
Lawrence,
over there.
Lawrence, I'm glad you're saying be careful because Colgate, Wisconsin's on upset alert round 1.
Oh, absolutely. Colgate almost took out Arkansas last year.
I think Wisconsin wins because they're going to be a little more aware than Arkansas was last year.
Yeah.
But Colgate is still a very similar team.
Love
Shoots
Colgate.
the ball at a very, very high rate and field goal percentage and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see anyone on their team slowing down Davis whatsoever, and he's just going to roll through them. I think Wisconsin wins by like 7 points, something like that. But the whole game is pretty close, and it just becomes spread at the very end.
Yeah. We got USC and Miami in the next game.
These are the two type of teams that I absolutely love and hate. They are the definition of pure athlete and not so much IQ. So they can easily go on a hot streak and completely steamroll a couple teams, or completely get blown out of a game because they just crumble, turnovers or whatever. But I think USC is slightly more sound, and USC wins.
I think I got Miami in that one. I don't know.
I could easily see Miami. Yeah. They're both chaotic.
All right, Auburn and Jacksonville State, which I think this Jacksonville State's in Alabama, which is interesting. It is. Auburn versus Jacksonville State.
Auburn, even though Jacksonville State, what a game.
What a game. Let's move on to the second round now. We'll just stay down here in the bottom half of this bracket for now. In the East region, we got number 1, Baylor versus number 8, North Carolina.
I can't make up my mind here. I really want to pick North Carolina.
Really?
I don't like Baylor. They have a lot of injuries right now, so it worries me. But screw it. We're going to be fun, right, Lawrence?
I like it. Let's go.
We're going to go North Carolina.
I love it.
But you could go either way in this game, in my opinion. The thing is, if Marquette plays Baylor, Baylor wins.
Yeah.
But if North Carolina plays them, I think North Carolina is going to really challenge Baylor. Mm-hmm. Baylor's just not healthy enough right now. If they had their full healthy team, yeah, they easily beat North Carolina.
Yeah. Number 12 IU versus number 4 UCLA.
I hate picking UCLA just because I massively root against California schools. But I have to listen to my sense of reason, and IU's great little run is going to end here.
Yeah, most of the time when I fill it out.
UCLA kind of wins this one, but hey, at least I gave your IU Hoosiers a little more respect than normal.
A lot farther than I thought they were going to go, so I'm happy with it. Number 11, Virginia Tech versus number 3, Purdue.
Virginia Tech.
Nice. I agree.
Purdue struggles to defend this year. Top 10 in offensive efficiency. I think 100th flat in defensive efficiency against an extremely hot offense that moves the ball around and will press you, which Purdue stinks at presses. If this was Purdue in January, December, yeah, it's easily Purdue, but it's Purdue in March, baby. Virginia Tech wins.
All right. Who they'll play in the Sweet 16? Number 7 Murray State or number 2 Kentucky?
I feel so bad for Murray State because I feel like Murray State, say, was on the other side and facing Auburn. Murray State would beat Auburn, but they're not going to beat Kentucky.
Yes, they
Oscar Tshiebwe is, in my opinion, the National Player of the Year, and they're gonna roll. Kentucky's gonna win that game.
I got
It'll
Murray
be a good
State.
game though. You got Murray State. I like it. I honestly do. I like it. They're a very good, talented team, and I think it's going to be a great game. I just feel like they got seeded poorly.
Yeah. All right, and this is the Midwest. We got number 1 Kansas versus 8 San Diego State.
Kansas kind of rolls. They kind of got a favorable draw. I don't feel like either 8 or 9 in this one is as good as some of the other regions. So I think Kansas wins. Probably not as convincingly as they should, but they're going to win the game.
Okay. Number 5 Iowa versus 13 South Dakota State.
As much as we love the Jackrabbits,
No.
I think they can only have magic going on for so long. I think Iowa wins this one. The magic dies out, but hey, they knocked off Providence. They get their one shining moment.
That's a good point. Number 6 LSU versus 3 Wisconsin.
This one's been taking me a while to think about as well. I keep flipping it back and forth, but I think Wisconsin wins. But if LSU shoots well or gets hot out of nowhere and their guards play better than normal, LSU can beat them. But I think Wisconsin wins by like 5.
Okay. Number 7 USC versus number 2 Auburn.
I really want. This is one where I'm starting to verge on an upset again, maybe here.
Okay. You just don't rank. You don't rank Auburn highly.
No, I do not. Their guard play reeks. They're 2 bigs, 2 of the best bigs in the entire country. Really are. They are phenomenal. But I just don't see them going super far for very long. And we have to be interesting, right? I'm going to pick USC for fun.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, really think about it. Those Auburn players, they get into foul trouble. You're looking at a
the bigs
time.
get in foul trouble, something like that. Is Auburn could easily win this game, but just easily drop the next one to Wisconsin. So it's kind of a up for debate one. But I don't know. Auburn's, unless their guards finally figure out how to not turn over the ball and pass it to their bigs, they're out.
Okay. Back to the West region, we got number 1 Gonzaga versus number 9 Memphis.
Memphis is gonna make it a good game for parts of it, but they're just so turnover prone, and Gonzaga's just too smart. So they're gonna take advantage of that and win.
Number 5 UConn versus 4 Arkansas.
I feel like it's going. I know you picked the Catamounts to be here.
Let's go.
I picked the Razorbacks to be here, and I'm going to pick them to win again.
That's smart. I have the Catamounts in the Sweet 16. I'd have them beating UConn.
Fair enough. UConn is solid, but they rely too heavily on 2 guys. In Arkansas, as long as like Mude or some of the other guys get hot alongside, they'll win that game, I feel like. Okay. But hey, you got the Catamounts.
Let's go.
You never know.
They're scrappy. That's all I know about them. Rutgers and Notre Dame versus number 3 Texas Tech.
I feel like Texas Tech wins because I think it's going to be Rutgers at this stage in game.
Okay.
Regardless, if it's Notre Dame, I think Texas Tech wins soundly. If it's Rutgers, they win pretty good, okay as well, because Rutgers tries to make games ugly, but no one's better at making a game rough and tough and ugly than Texas Tech, so they're not going to beat them at their own style of play.
All right.
So Texas Tech's going to win that one.
Oh, yeah. And the matchup of the second round, probably number 7 Michigan State versus number 2 Duke.
My hatred for Duke makes me really want to pick Michigan State. But I have to be honest, and it's going to be Duke to win this game. They're not going to flounder this early. Yeah. If they do, I'm happy.
Right.
It would be even funnier if Davidson would beat them, but no, Duke's going to win this game, and Coach K's run's going to extend a little longer.
All right. Now over into the South. Number 1 Arizona versus number 9 TCU.
Arizona is a very good basketball team and probably one of the favorites in this region. I think Arizona wins.
Number 12 UAB versus number 4 Illinois.
No one can guard Cockburn on UAB.
Damn it.
No one. I really wanted the boy Jelly Walker to keep rolling, but
yes,
I don't see it. And say Houston gets here as well, I still think Illinois has an advantage over them. Houston only advances on to the next round as if Illinois doesn't come to play against Chattanooga, and they beat Chattanooga.
Number 6 Colorado State versus number 3 Tennessee.
Like I said, Colorado State's a good team, but Tennessee is deserving of a 2 seed. Tennessee is going to win this game. They're just too much to handle. Chandler in particular.
All right. This game is slated for a Sunday. It's number 10 Loyola Chicago versus number 2 Villanova.
I like Sister Jean a lot, but Villanova's still going to be too much to handle for them.
You just can't pick
They just
Sister
don't have
Jean.
the depth.
You can't pick against Sister Jean on a Sunday, Marshall. That's
You're
God's
picking.
day.
That's why you mentioned it. You're
That's
going to
God's
Chicago,
day.
aren't you?
Absolutely.
You-
I'm not
you might
picking
have a
against
point here.
God.
Don't put me in a corner here. Don't put me in a corner here like this.
I don't know. Villanova's probably going to win.
I
Moving
respect
on,
the
we're
Lord.
into the Sweet 16 now. Stay in the South region. Why not? Number 1, Arizona versus number 4, Illinois.
I don't feel like Illinois is that great of a team, and Arizona is very hot offensively. And they got Matherin, who's like one of the better guys in the country. At the end of the line comes here if it doesn't come earlier for Illinois. Regardless of who comes out of here, they're losing to Arizona.
And then number 3, Tennessee versus 2, Villanova.
Tennessee wins the game. Gillespie's great and all, but Chandler and Tennessee's just they're too much more depth there, and Tennessee's hot right now, and I like rolling with the hot teams in March.
Absolutely, you have to. Number 1, Zaga versus number 4, Arkansas in the Sweet 16 over in the West region.
Tight game. Back and forth. If Note is hot and Williams is rolling too, Arkansas wins this game. But I feel like Gonzaga's too smart, and Gonzaga's going to win this game. They're just going to outsmart them. That's all it is.
Okay, and then the next game is Texas Tech, number 3, and number 2, Duke.
Coach K's run ends.
Let's go!
Duke has a history of struggling against opponents that get up in their grill and in their face and frustrate them. And we clearly also in the Virginia Tech game, they kind of melted with pressure, and that's Texas Tech's speciality.
They're scrappy.
They're just going to get frustrated, and they're going to do some dumb things, and Texas Tech's going to win, and most people are just going to be disappointed that his run's over.
I love it, though. On the east side now, number 8, North Carolina versus number 4, UCLA.
It would be funny if North Carolina kept winning, but I have to be a little safe here and pick UCLA. There's being fun and having a Cinderella story, and it could happen, but we're picking a bracket and we're being reasonable here.
Oh, yeah.
I think UCLA wins in a close one.
All right, now we move on to number 11, Virginia Tech versus 2, Kentucky.
Kentucky's too much to handle for them still. No one can guard Toshiba on their team in particular, and the dude's probably going to have 20 rebounds that game. And plus, if Kentucky's fully healthy, I feel like Virginia Tech by then will be starting to gas out a little, and they'll be better scouted. So I think Kentucky wins that one.
Okay. Moving on now to number 1, Kansas versus number 5, Iowa.
This is a coin flip game.
Okay.
I really, truly do think this is a coin flip game. I'm gonna give it to Kansas, but if anyone out there picks Iowa, I could easily see it in a heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah. I could see, yeah. Iowa's hot right now.
Iowa's super hot right now, and if we're gonna go to the bold prediction down below, I'm assuming Wisconsin's gonna win against USC.
Okay.
And regardless of if it's Kansas or Iowa, I like Kansas and or Iowa over Wisconsin to make it to the Final Four.
So go ahead and just throw Kansas in that Final Four.
Just throw Kansas in the Final Four.
Okay.
You got to throw at least one number 1 seed in there.
UCLA or Kentucky out of the East?
I think Kentucky wins. It's kind of a boring answer.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to have a very boring Final Four the more I'm starting to look at this. Which I don't like all the way, because I think this is the year where we're going to see some like madness. 8 seed or something do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on now to Arizona and Tennessee.
It's going to be a tight game, but I think Tennessee's run kind of just starts to falter a little, and Arizona hasn't had a challenge up to this point, so they've been kind of on coast, like cruising on cruise control. So I think Arizona wins, but it's going to leave me with too many number 1 seeds in the final.
Out of the final. Yep. Out of the West, Gonzaga and Texas Tech.
I think Gonzaga wins, but that's way too many number 1 seeds, isn't it?
I mean, it's 3.
It's 3, but then the other one's a number 2 seed, so it's not very crazy.
Yeah, so the final 4? Is that final? Is that who we going with?
That's what we're going with, but I'll tell you right here, right now, that's definitely not correct. I think this is the year you only see 2 number 1s, not 3 of them.
Yeah, I could see that. But also at the same time, look at the number 1s and kind of the regions they're in. I've heard nothing this whole time you've been filling them out as these number 1s just seem to roll each team they go up against, except for maybe Kansas and Iowa. I think everything else has been just no doubter. They go in.
I think Gonzaga is the clear cut from their 1.
Yeah.
I don't think one's going to challenge Gonzaga. The Kansas and Iowa is where my first debate begins, and I don't think Baylor makes it out, obviously. Arizona could easily go down to Tennessee or maybe even Villanova, but I'm just making the safe bet and picking Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Then we go on to the Final 4, Arizona and Kansas. Who we got in that one?
Who do I have? I think Arizona wins in a close one. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. And it's just a safer pick to pick as well, since I'm not sure if it's going to be Kansas or Iowa here.
Okay.
So I feel like Arizona's just a safe pick to pick.
All right. And then Gonzaga and Kentucky over on the other side.
It's Gonzaga. I think they're just a really talented team, and they're going to continue to roll. Toshiba is going to run into his first set of 2 big men, and if he gets in foul trouble, they're toast. So, and I think that happens, and Gonzaga is going to win.
Okay, and now the national championship. Gonzaga versus Arizona. Who's taking it?
Gonzaga, and it's going to be Gonzaga. Yeah, it's going to be Gonzaga, I think. It's the very boring answer. I know it's the number 1 overall, but I feel like they're just slightly better than everyone else in the country, and their only losses are really like on the road or against tough opponents. So I think Gonzaga wins, and honestly, it might be like last year's championship game where Gonzaga got blown out, and then this year Gonzaga blows out someone.
I like it. So yeah, that's if you guys want a perfect bracket, it's right here. Everything is right here.
You'll be lucky.
$1 million. There you go. You're welcome. I'm just trying to help everyone out and share this pot with them.
Yeah, no. If you want to do round by round betting, I'd be very good at that.
I bet. I'm definitely gonna have to hit you up because
round by round betting, I'm way better than picking everything in advance. But yeah, you can kind of get a better eyesight of how teams are playing and things like that. But I don't know. To recap, let's go South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, baby. That's all I care about.
And I got a big upset in North Carolina taking out Baylor, so let's go there too.
I like it. That IU game is on tonight. Let's head on over to FanDuel. Let's make some picks for tonight's games, huh? What do you think? We got IU Wyoming. The spread right now is IU -4, and the over/under is set at 132. Marshall, what is the probably smartest bet?
Is that IU to win by 4?
Yeah, win by 4.
Is that IU to win?
Yes.
Might be safer to take Wyoming covers.
Yeah. You take Wyoming
I
plus
think
4?
the game's I told you already. I think it's going to be back and forth, and whoever's kind of the winner out of that, goes on to win it overall. I mean, like win the St. Mary's game. I'd be
go ahead.
More reluctant to bet on Wyoming, like the cover.
Okay. That's very interesting. There's a very interesting Indiana-only super boost on FanDuel right now where it's Trace Jackson Davis to score 15-plus points and IU to win.
Take it.
It's at plus 150. That's free money.
15? There's no way Jackson Davis is not scoring 15
points,
and then you're just rooting for IU to win the game. That's the tough part. The 15 points he's got.
This is obviously not going to happen, but there's an interesting bet here. It's IU to make the tournament Sweet 16. Yes is plus 730.
Don't think so. Like I said, I think we go down to
interesting. Let's go on over to the NBA tonight's action. Not very much. We got the Brooklyn Nets against the Orlando Magic. The Nets are minus 10.5 point favorite. Marshall, who we got?
I think Brooklyn rolls. The Magic aren't that great.
Yeah. Grizzlies, Pacers, minus 7.
for the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one as well. Pistons plus 13, Miami Heat minus 13. I read that completely weird. It's in Miami.
And it's Miami. Teams never travel well to Miami.
You're going to take the spread,
Have
minus 13?
Too much fun before the games.
You want to take the 13 points?
What, for Miami to win by 13 or more?
Yeah.
No, 13's a little too much for NBA.
Okay, so you're going to take the plus 13 then?
I'm just having Miami winning. That's all I know.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Fuck spreads. We should probably just go on money lines again. I'm doing this all
No, we can do spreads. I'm all for spreads, but that one is I could easily see Detroit screwing it up.
And then Suns Pelicans. They got the Suns as a minus 4.5.
Suns win. CJ McCollum's ruled out. I just saw.
Okay.
So without McCollum, I think the Suns will.
I think I'm gonna agree with all of those picks. I mean, it's pretty lopsided slate here tonight.
It NBA. Really is.
And then we can go in the NHL. We got a lot of games, baby.
Oh boy, this is where
we shine. This is where we shine, baby. Here we go. Anaheim Ducks traveling to the New York Rangers to play them. Marshall, who we think? So far, the Rangers are minus 205 favorite at home.
Yeah, well, I think the Rangers win. I do.
Well, I gotta say it's quack, baby. Let's go Ducks. I'm taking the Ducks.
I will be rooting for the Ducks.
Ducks.
I hope I'm wrong.
Next game, New York Islanders at Washington Capitals. Shockingly, the over/under is set at 5.5. That over/under for the Islanders, the under hits 100% of the time. I have not seen a team hit so many unders before.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
But with that being said, on the other side, I'm pretty sure the Capitals are very well on a 5.5 over/under on the over side. So it's tough to judge that on over/under wise. Game wise, on winning, I'm going Capitals. I don't think the Islanders are well suited enough to stop them. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
Same?
I'm on the same board.
I like it. Wow. Oh my God. I'm glad I just looked at this. We have the shit bowl tonight, Marshall.
I know.
Arizona Coyotes at the Montreal Canadiens. Who's winning?
Canadians.
You taking the Canadians?
The Canadians get a W.
I'm taking the Yotes. The Yotes have been hot recently a little bit. Last week they had a 4-game win streak going.
Regardless, whoever's listening out there, the only way you're watching this game is if you bet on it.
Oh, absolutely. Even fan bases are not watching this game. I don't know.
They might be rooting against their team for better picks.
I don't know how Montreal's vaccination COVID stuff works. But I really hope no one does go to this game tonight. Please save your money. Stay home.
Stay home. Stay safe. Don't watch bad hockey.
The next game, we got the Dallas Stars at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Marshall, who we taking here? Leafs are coming off a loss in the Heritage Classic to Buffalo, too. And they are without Austin Matthews.
Okay, so that makes me... I was leaning Dallas anyway, but I'm a little stronger now. I'm going to go Dallas, but by like a goal.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Dallas, too. Especially, they got them as the underdog. That's actually a very interesting bet to think about. Pittsburgh Penguins at Nashville Predators, even. Minus 110 both sides. So really a coin flip game if you want to talk about it. Who we got?
I know everyone likes to hype up, and I like the Predators, but my gut's telling me the Penguins win this game. I don't know why.
I'm on the same side. I can't pick Predators, and you know me. So I'm going Penguins. Vegas Golden Knights travel north of the border to travel to Winnipeg to play the Jets. They got the Jets as a favorite on this one.
Really? I thought I was going to pick the Jets and it was going to be a surprise. Gosh dang it. I'm going with the favorites. I think Winnipeg wins.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Winnipeg takes it.
I was trying to find my upset pick, and that's not one apparently.
Boston Bruins travel to Chicago to play the Blackhawks. Who we got winning in this one, Marshall? I'm conflicted on this one, so I don't know if I'm allowed to pick.
Obviously, you're not allowed to pick, but I'm going to go Boston.
Okay.
Gotta go Boston.
Then we go Detroit Red Wings at Edmonton Oilers.
talk about an upset if
What
I said this one.
Please don't say it.
No, it's going to be Edmonton.
Okay. I was going to say, please just... I'm going the same boat, obviously. I mean, I'm not picking Detroit.
I think we've been on the same page almost the whole time.
The whole time, except for like 2 games in NHL, and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Last game, capping up the NHL. New Jersey Devils at Vancouver. Who we got?
Vancouver wins. It's boring, but it's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm taking Jack Hughes. Let's take the upset. I'll take the Devils. I'll take the other side.
Oh,
Make it interesting.
Nice.
Then, of course, we got to go to it. What's this PGA Tour looking like? We got the Valspar Championship this Thursday.
We got a little bit of time before it occurs, yes.
We got the Valspar Championship this weekend. So far, the favorites at plus 1,100 are two between Justin Thomas and Victor Hovland. Who do you think's got this in the bag?
Out of those two, Hovland is one of the ones I would consider high up there. Mm-hmm. But most people who aren't talking about, who honestly just came off a great round. You obviously never picked the winner from last week.
Right.
But who didn't start the last week great but finished strong. I think this is a chance for Dustin Johnson to get back on the wagon.
That's a great pick. Dustin Johnson, by the way, not plus 1,500. He has the 4th best odds to win the Valspar Championship. That's a great pick, though. I completely agree with everything you just said. I
really hope it's someone who's like not ranked at all. I always root for the unranked guy.
Right, absolutely. God, man, this
Big
is
Taylor
tough.
Gooch show here. Big Taylor Gooch show here.
Where's my boy? What's his
I don't
odds?
know if he's competing or not, but Big Taylor Gooch show here.
Yeah, Gooch ain't even. Yeah, big Gooch show, but like he's not listed. I don't think he's playing.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Now, if you were obviously a lock is to finish top 10, probably Dustin Johnson. I'll agree with that.
I think Dustin Johnson's the lock to finish top 10. I don't think so in top 10.
In top 10, really?
No, I think he kind of slips a little in the following week. He gets it going again. This bold statement, I guess, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It's Morikawa.
Where is this Valspar at? Where's it at?
It's outside of Tampa. It's close to Tampa-ish. You're kind of still staying in Florida.
I see a name, and it's very interesting. Like, it's very intriguing. I don't know if I want to say it, though.
Just say it. I'll give the rundown.
Plus 2,900 odds. Right behind Shane Lowry. Brooks Koepka.
That's the most spotty guy out there.
Well, there we
I don't know. Yeah, that's if you want to, you can be bold. Yeah, he's the type of guy.
An interesting name. I like the odds on him, but if I'm going to pick a winner, I'm going Louis, baby. I think this is Oosthuizen, baby. I think it's his time. Yeah, I think this is give it.
Louis always okay. Time out. Can we talk about Louis for a second?
Absolutely.
Louis is fun to pick, but I would not pick him as the winner. Louis always seems to finish second.
He does.
He makes a great run. Point. He does really great, but he's gonna finish like top 5 this weekend. He ain't gonna win it.
He's winning it.
If there were bets for top 10 or something like that for Louis, I might want to gamble on it. But number 1, that's tough. That's tough.
I agree. Well, those are our picks for tonight. We'll come back next week when we have the next episode to see how they went. Or whenever next episode is.
Next episode coming soon.
At least next week. I will. At least next week. I don't know if you want to do 2 episodes or not. I have no idea. So,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that after.
Absolutely. But yeah, let's wrap up the show here. Any closing points here, Marshall, that you would like to say?
Don't take our picks seriously and bet everything on them.
If anything, actually just bet the opposite.
Oh, you're about to say the opposite? I was about to say, don't take your bet seriously, except South Dakota State, baby.
Absolutely, South Dakota State.
Go Jackrabbits.
Go Jackrabbits. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, of course. Like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Spread the news, obviously. And then we'll see you guys at least next week. I don't know if we want to spit in another one, but whatever. Until then, you guys be good people.